In case you're just joining us, you are watching Doctor on Air, and we are looking at heart diseases. In the studio, I am joined by Dr. Elsayed Abdel Kader. He is a cardiologist coming from Forest Park Hospital. I'd like to welcome you to the program.
Good morning and thank you. It's my pleasure to be with you here, Margaret.
Let's get straight to understand when one says heart disease, what do they really mean?
Yes, let's talk first about the heart. What is the heart? The heart is an amazing organ. It's a God gift for us. The heart is not only a pump that pumps the heart, pump the blood all over the body. It's responsible for love and hate, happiness, sorrow, even the prayers come from the heart. So it's very essential, very important organ. And in Zambia, the heart diseases uh, in late of 2022, the ministry, according to the Ministry of Health, there is 6,000 babies born with congenital heart diseases.
6,000?
6,000. 2,000 of them in need for intervention or surgical correction. And also in Zambia, the coronary heart diseases, heart failure, heart diseases in general is the leading cause to hospitalization. And we should know that coronary heart disease in Zambia is responsible for 4% of total deaths. Okay, whereas hypertension is responsible for 2.5% of total deaths with very high rank, world rank, as the sex world rank for hypertension in Zambia. So that's why we should care more about our heart health. So when you say that you have a heart disease, okay, the heart diseases are a group of conditions that affect the heart. They affect the function of the heart and the way it works. It may affect the blood vessels, like coronary disease. It may affect the heart muscle itself. It may affect the valvular portion of the heart valves. It may affect the electrical system of the heart. So there is a lot of types of heart diseases we deal with.
Let's get straight to know the common types of heart diseases in Zambia. You talked about them being many, but which ones are more common in our country?
The most common here in Zambia, because we have a lot of hypertension. So one of the complications of hypertension is coronary heart disease and cardiomyopathy, which is genital heart disease I mentioned before. Because of maybe the lifestyle of mothers during pregnancy can cause these congenital heart diseases.
Let's get straight to understand some of the signs and symptoms of these common heart diseases in our country. Are the signs or symptoms the same?
Sure. Symptoms and signs, they differ according to which part of the heart is diseased. But in common, there is chest pain, shortness of breath, palpitation. You feel your heart is too fast or too slow, or it's regular pace. You feel swollen ankles, swollen feet, lightheaded, fainting. These are the most common symptoms and signs.
Now, which one is more common from the one you talked about? Which one is the most common in our country?
Chest pain and palpitation.
Okay, that is most common. Okay, and what really may cause such heart diseases?
What can cause heart diseases? That's what we call risk factors of heart diseases. The risk factors, first, the hypertension, as we said before. Uncontrolled hypertension can cause a lot of heart diseases. Uncontrolled diabetes, smoking for sure, obesity, sedentary lifestyle, lack of exercise, it increases with old age. It increases more in men more than women. Uh, you know, bad dental hygiene. You know, the dental health and dental care is very affecting the heart.
Why did you say some types of heart diseases are more prominent in men than women?
Yes.
Why could this be the reason? Are men not taking good care of themselves?
No, because men are genetically first, they are more predisposed to heart diseases. They are more affected by stress, emotional stress. You know, he is a man who has to gain money for his family.
So much pressure.
Yes, so much pressure. Yes, as you say. And the man smokes more, drinks more. That's why the man is more disposed for heart diseases more than women.
And what would be the worst scenario of a heart condition? How worse does it get when it's not treated?
Maybe you mean the complications of heart diseases. The complication of heart diseases starts with arrhythmias. That's disturbance in the electrical system of the heart. Heart attacks. It's caused by blockage of the bloodstream in the coronary arteries. Heart failure. Heart failure because of the failure of the heart to pump sufficient blood for the body organs, and strokes, cerebral strokes too. These are the most common complications of heart diseases.
Are some heart diseases genetic? Are they passed on from parents to children?
Yes, yes. Most of them. First, you have the patient, if he has a family history of any of heart diseases, especially if one of the parents has this disease in early life, like before 55 in men, in parent, in fathers, and below 65 in mothers.
Take us through into the illustration, which part of the heart gets affected with some of the heart diseases that you talked about.
First, the arteries, as we said, the coronary artery disease, it's affected because of the hypertension, hyperlipidemia, and smoking, causing ischemic heart disease. Then the heart muscle itself, like what happens in cardiomyopathies and heart failure, the heart valves, you know, the heart valves, we have 4 valves in the heart. They, their function is to have the blood in the right way without leakage or without being narrowed, which we call stenosis. And the electrical system, the arrhythmias, some arrhythmias could be fatal in some time.
What kind of treatment is readily available in our country? You mentioned some of the common heart diseases
Yes.
In the country. Is there some treatment available? And what kind of treatment? Is it only surgery? Does it consist of taking some tablets?
Thanks. Before we talk about medications, surgeries, and catheterization, we should talk about lifestyle modification. Actually, the lifestyle modification is the only thing you can reverse the heart diseases, you can control the heart diseases, and even prevent the heart disease to occur. Okay, so the patient should have a better lifestyle. You should exercise regularly every day. You should eat healthy foods, stop smoking, stop alcohol. That
Is completely stopping alcohol and smoking?
Yes.
It should be done in moderation. Completely
No.
stopping.
he should quit. If he's a cardiac patient, he should quit
Okay.
smoking and drinking. Okay, then if the lifestyle modification fails to regain health of the heart, we start with medications. And if the medications fails, we go through the minimal intervention by catheterization and surgeries.
In case you're just joining us, you are watching Dr. A and we are looking at heart diseases. We take a break and we'll be accommodating our callers in case you have any questions or contributions to make on this program. Questions that you have, or if you have any contributions to the program, we are going to appreciate that. We're talking about the treatment. Probably you can just add more on the treatment for different types of heart diseases.
As we said before, so we start with lifestyle modification, then medications and minimal intervention procedures and the cath lab, then in surgeries. Now it's a new era in minimal intervention, even and the coronary heart disease or the electrical disturbance of the heart electrical system. Maybe I brought something with me. It's a pacemaker. The pacemaker is a little device we insert for the patient. It regulates the heartbeats when if the patient has heart block or irregular heartbeats, which could be fatal.
When you're saying insert, that's inserted.
You insert it here in this place below the skin, and usually it has leads and electrodes go through the heart chamber to regulate the heart. Even there are now types of pacemakers and devices and cardiac devices. It improves the function of the heart for patients with heart failure. And there's devices now with intracardiac defibrillator. Patients facing fatal arrhythmia, the external defibrillator we use in hospitals, giving the electric shock, we replace it with a device like this. It's inserted in the patient. It works alone when it feels and records that the patient has an attack of ventricular tachycardia or ventricular fibrillation. It delivers the shock for the patient and saves his life. Okay, and in the coronary heart disease, now it's very rare to transfer a patient for surgery because of coronary heart disease. Now we use a lot of technologies in treating coronary heart disease. We insert stents inside the arteries. Just it looks like this.
It looks like that.
Yes, not.
Okay, just hold
Yes.
it.
It looks like that. It's like spring coil.
Okay.
But actually it's a metal mesh over balloon. We dilate the artery.
I'd like
and
you
we
to
insert.
hold with your thoughts, so we accommodate our first caller from Monze. You're through to the program. Hello, you're through to the program. Go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I'm going to ask you concerning the heart disease. I've been diagnosed with the cardiomyopathy. Is there any permanent cure for the same, or because it is congestive cardiomyopathy and I've been taking medication? Now I wanted to find out whether there is a permanent cure for the same.
Okay, what kind of medication, probably to just assist the doctor, what kind of medication are you on?
Yeah, I've been taking aspirin, let me just keep the list of the drugs that I've been taking, so maybe I give me advice correctly. I've been taking digoxin, enalapril, then I've been taking cadipilo, I've been taking aspirin, and the Atovax. Those are among the drugs that I've been taking, about 6 different drugs.
Okay, just hold on. Would you like to ask the question?
If I heard right, he has cardiomyopathy and he is on medication and he is asking about
Permanent solution because it's
yes,
just
he's just on medical treatment and he mentions the medications he's on. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Doc will be able to respond to that.
You know, cardiomyopathy is one of diseases we call heart failure. It's the failure of the heart to pump enough blood through the body. It makes the patient feel easy fatigue that short that he can't sleep well. He can't sleep over his back in the recumbent position. He got swollen ankles or feet. Nowadays, there's new era of medications for heart failure and devices for heart failure, as I mentioned before. The medications in heart failure, what's new in heart failure. There is the medications now improve the ejection fraction or the function of the cardiac muscle and devices too. It's called cardiac resynchronization therapy. It improves the function of the heart. It looks like this device. We insert it inside the patient and it improves the function of the heart. So yes, this is new era for assisted device now to treat the heart.
So instead of the medications and so on?
We start with the medications first. There's no new medications now in the market treating heart failure. If they fail, we insert devices to improve the cardiac function.
Now, with the COVID-19 pandemic, we did see a lot of complications of heart attack that came with this dimension of heart attacks and the complexity of it.
Yes.
What could have caused this?
Actually, when we faced COVID-19, we noticed that the patient with COVID-19 is more liable for thrombosis. You know, in arterial and venous thrombosis or pulmonary artery embolism. So we had a lot of serious cardiac conditions as a complication of COVID-19.
So it was a complication of
Yes.
COVID-19. Let's get to understand probably how people with heart conditions can be cared for. Home support, what kind of home support is needed?
Actually, cardiac patients, first they need to modify their lifestyle, as we said before. And exercise is a golden key, it's a magic key to improve the life of cardiac patients. You know, for cardiac patients, we set a program. It's called cardiac rehabilitation. It includes patient education program. It includes program for exercise and group therapy and psychological treatment and psychological support. And the psychological support starts always from them.
Let's accommodate Mlenga. Calling from Kitwe. You are through to the program. Go ahead with your question or contribution. Kindly turn down the volume on the TV set so that we do not get any delayed feedback. Turn down the volume on the TV set and go ahead with your question.
Kindly turn down the volume on the TV set so that we do not get any delayed feedback.
Unfortunately, we need to lose you. Each time you get through to the program, you turn down the volume on the TV set. Do not listen to me or to us using the television set, but listen to us using your phone, because if you're listening using the TV set, we're going to be getting a delayed feedback, and that will not allow us to accommodate as many calls. Please follow instructions, turn down the volume on the TV set when you get through to the program. There are different myths and misconceptions when it comes to heart diseases, and in different communities, obviously, some people would hear information from people that are not experts. Others would recommend you drink red wine if you've got a heart condition, because that's what they've heard, and they will be cured from that heart disease. Let's just demystify this myths and misconceptions and highlight on this red line. Why is it uh, talked about so?
You know, alcohol in general it increases the levels of cholesterol and causes hyperlipidemia. And hyperlipidemia and hypercholesterolemia, together with smoking, together with hypertension, it makes plaques inside the artery vessel, which cause narrowing of the artery vessel, then blockage of the heart, blockage of the coronary artery flow. It may cause strokes that happen in the brain. It may cause heart attacks if it happens in the heart. So the cardiac patient should quit smoking, should quit drinking.
The red wine, Doc, you've never heard of red wine. People say you need to take red wine for the heart problem.
You know, what I know about red wine, it's alcoholic drink, right? So it contains alcohol. And I'm talking about alcohol drink, not specific drink. Yes.
Guest just joining us, you're watching Doctor on Air, and with me in the studio is Dr. Abdel Kader, a cardiologist from Forest Park Hospital. If you have any questions or contributions, do call us on the numbers that are showing on the screen. And please, when you get through the program, turn down the volume on the TV set. Follow the instructions so that we can communicate smoothly. Let's talk about before this question. Let me just accommodate our caller. You are free to the program. Go ahead with your question or contribution.
Thank you. This is Steve Sakai calling you from Mumbai.
Please go ahead with your question.
I was diagnosed with a heart disease, which is of the valves that are not functioning. So I would like to find out if at all what sort of medication should I take, or what sort of advice can I be helped, to resuscitate the valve so that they can be functioning again.
Thank you so much for
Which
joining.
Which
Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Which one?
Which valves exactly are you?
The valve, what does it mean? You can from the left atrium, getting back to blood, then to the rest of the body. So, the name of the valve I've forgotten, but from the aorta, you see in the aorta, from that left atrium.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, I think he is talking about the mitral valve. He was in one of the valves of the heart. It allows the blood to flow from the left atrium to the left ventricle. He said left atrium, right? If I really recorded him. Okay, the mitral valve can get diseased by narrowing or by leaking, passing the blood in all directions, or narrowing, letting the blood get delayed in the left atrium. So it gets diseased because of rheumatic fever, maybe it's congenital, a lot of causes, but the most common are congenital and rheumatic fever. He should be examined, he should do echocardiogram to assess the which lesion he has, which disease it's stenosis, or it's a leakage, which called mitral regurg, or it's a mitral prolapse, and what extent of the disease. Every lesion has its own treatment. Okay, so he should ask advice from his cardiologist.
Are there situations where somebody has been diagnosed with this similar kind of heart condition, and
Yes.
therefore you do not need any medication, but just change your lifestyle and
Yes.
take care of yourself? So
Yes,
some do not really need
sometimes in early stages of the disease, the lifestyle is more than enough.
because
to
I think
correct.
from what you said,
Yes.
this is what they found out, but he's not on medication. So
Yes.
he wants to see if there's any medication he can take. So some do
if
not
he-
need medication.
Yes, if he is in the early stages of the disease and he follows healthy lifestyle, he can he can't need any medication that he is conditionally approved.
How much sensitization is there in different communities when it comes to heart diseases? Is there information well delivered to the members of the public for them to understand? Are they able to go for screening at different health facilities just for them to have this heart check?
Yes, we should focus on patient education programs. You know, regular checkup, enhance encourage people to live a healthy lifestyle, to stop smoking, to do exercise, to sleep well, to have good dental care and dental hygiene. That will decrease the incidence of our diseases in any community. Especially here in Zambia, when we have diseases like hypertension, we should educate the patients how to control the hypertension, how is the importance of controlling such a
Just
disease.
hold with your
Yes.
phone. We accommodate Moses. We are through to the program.
Hello, good afternoon, madam.
Turn down the volume on the TV set and go ahead with your contribution.
Madam. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead with your question.
I want to ask you doctor here. I'm a bit confused. Why doctor told me that I got the heart in the blood? That's why the heart is not functioning. Why doctor also, because I can't sleep, I can't sleep lying down. I sleep sitting. Because if you people lying down, I start coughing for air. So I was yesterday and the stop confront and the laxity and the accident. So what I just the baby doxy that's not and the confusion all over. So I don't know how I'm going to take up the
Okay, just hold on. Take your time when explaining so that we can understand what you're trying to say. And if the doctor has further questions, he's going to ask you those questions. Hello, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still there.
Yes, you can continue, but just take your time as you explain.
Yes, why do like to give me laxis? Like 15 bottles and we took come like here. That's why I'm a big thinking away. So I'm the good doctor. I don't know how to do where to go. Thank you, doctor.
Okay, just hold on. Doc, do you have further questions?
No, I just couldn't recognize it. If you knew what he asked about, you get them.
So he's been, is it the clothes that you have? You were found with the clothes and you've been failing
Yes,
to break up?
the body is just something else. They could quite so how to use the how medication so that they cost but that's why I'm not sleeping well.
Okay, thank you so much. I think Doc will be able to respond. Frankly speaking, I was struggling to hear what he's saying, but if you were able to get what he said, he was found with clothes, and the other issue is that he's been failing to sleep, or into a certain position of sleeping, but he's been struggling to sleep, gasping for air.
Yes.
He mentioned some medications. I didn't get that. I don't know if you were able to get them.
Okay, maybe the two points I got from his speaking that he had clots and he can sleep and he's struggling for breathing. The clots, as we said, when we have atherosclerosis, it's narrowing of blood vessels, it causes clots and thrombosis inside the arteries, in the heart or in the brain. This is the first point. The second point is struggling for breathing. It may be because of he has cardiomyopathy or heart failure. Maybe he has valvular disease or valvular disease. So he should be checked up and make echocardiography to assess his disease.
and to prescribe the right medications for her. We start with the medical lifestyle, as we said, and then we move to medication, then the intervention.
I'll allow you to complete your thoughts. We were talking about sensitization. We talked about information being important to the members of the public. Probably you can just conclude on that.
Yes, we should increase the public awareness of the heart diseases, the complication of heart disease, how to prevent the heart diseases to occur. Uh, this is will be more beneficial than treating the diseases after it, of course.
Adherence, when it comes to medication, I know that some of our callers have talked about the medicines that they are taking, and probably it could be something that brings about stress, denial for some patients, and they'll just want to give up, they want to lose hope because every day they have to take different types of these medication. Just your word to somebody who wants to give up, tell themselves, I'm done taking this medicine, it's too much for me. Because sometimes probably these medications could be for life.
Yes. Yes, medications for heart diseases is very essential. We can't stop any medication for heart without the doctor advice.
Okay, just hope we accommodate Brian calling you again, Osaka. You're through to the program. We hope you turn down the volume in the TV set and go ahead with your contribution.
Yes. I just wanted to find out about whenever one suffers from the heart disease, the leg gets swollen. What happens and what is the connection between the two?
Thank you so much. The connection between having the leg swollen when one has a heart condition.
Yes, as we mentioned before, one of the symptoms of heart diseases is a swollen ankles or swollen feet. It occurs in heart failure, cardiomyopathy, and in congenital heart diseases.
Okay, now let's go to what you tell patients out there if they're on medication. They skip on some days, they don't take the medicines, or when they feel they're okay, they completely stop.
Yes. Actually, the heart disease is one of the diseases that get much improved by medications. So the patient, once he feels better, he quit medications. But he should know that the medication keeps him well. He can't stop the medication without the doctor advice. And he should change his lifestyle. And I keep telling that we should follow a healthy lifestyle. It can improve a lot of heart diseases and can prevent a lot of heart diseases as well.
Let's go back to the myths and misconceptions. Sometimes it could be denial in some communities, or it could be lack of information, because when these symptoms or signs are presenting themselves, it is mistaken for something different and people would self-medicate.
Yes.
What would you say when these signs are noticed? What would the people do?
Okay. When a patient feels chest pain,
Just
when a
hold
patient
with your
yes.
thoughts, we accommodate our
Okay.
corner. You're through to the program. Hello, you're through to
I'm looking at this shop thing near my house. I don't have anything in the house. I don't know that really pain. And sometimes I just feel a fast heartbeat. Maybe maybe a problem to the heart or something. It really bumps fast. You can say that maybe like just the drum is beating or something like that. So I wanted to ask if it's the heart problem or not.
Thank you so much. Don't be able to respond to that.
Okay, we were just saying that when you have chest pain, short chest pain, you should seek medical advice. When you have shortness of breath, you should seek medical advice. When you face fainting attacks or pre-fainting attacks, syncope, you should seek the medical advice. You should visit the cardiology office to check your heart.
let's go to self-medicate and the complications it can come with. If the signs are showing heart problem, heart condition, and some people decide to self-medicate because they see it's swelling leg and they've been advised by a nearby to take some medications. What could be the complication?
Actually, the science vary from patient to another. So even the cause varies from patient to another. So, swollen legs could be from the heart, could be from the kidney, could be from the liver, a lot of causes. So how you treat the condition if you don't know the reason, if you don't know the accurate diagnosis of your condition. So you should see a doctor to confirm your diagnosis and confirm your condition before starting treating.
Before self-medicate.
Yes.
There are also some people that believe in traditional medicines because with their grandfather or grandmothers they have some concoction, some mixture of some liquids to drink after they complain of heart problem. What should people do instead of treating them wrong?
Actually, with all my respect to our grandfathers' opinions and their ways of
Their knowledge.
treatment and their knowledge as well, but now medicine is much developed nowadays, so the conditions are more clear for us today as doctors. The treatment is very different. Every day we have new updates in management and treating all the diseases. So, with my all respect, but we should go
To the hospital.
Yes.
Okay, let's accommodate Manga calling from Monze. You are due to the program. Go ahead with your question or contribution. We are not able to hear you. Hello? Were you able to get the question? Okay, unfortunately, Doc did not get the question. I equally did not get what you asked. Call us back on the numbers that are showing on the screen in case you have any contributions or questions. We do have Dr. Abdul Qadir, a cardiologist, coming from Forest Park Hospital to call us all the numbers that are showing on the screen in case you have any questions or contributions. Let's get straight to obviously understand the treatment available in our country. Is it something affordable for Zambians?
Till now, the medications we prescribe for patients, most of them are affordable for Zambian people, but some medications are really expensive. Like the new medications in treating heart failure, regular checkup. We should do regular checkup for our heart and our blood pressure and our blood sugar. Okay. You should sleep well, at least 7 to 8 hours a day. Uh, plus exercise.
I'll throw this question to you. Some members of the public obviously would say, going for a regular checkup for heart disease, which health expert will be available for you? Obviously, some would say they are attending to emergencies. Are they readily available to just do the heart checkup for members of the public? Do we see health experts just available for that?
Yes, I think it's now available for Zambian people to see cardiology experts. And I'm not talking about regular checkup every month. After 20s, you should have the checkup every year. After 40s, do the checkup every 6 months, and so on. So
It's not something done every month.
No.
2 years after
no,
every year.
yes.
Now let's get to understand on the mindset of the members of the community when it comes to people with heart conditions. There could be stigma, and it's noticed in schools, in workplaces, when somebody has got a heart condition, there's that stigma. They don't want to sit next to that person, eat with that person. What kind of attitude should members of the public have towards people with heart conditions?
Okay, the
Just what? Were able to
yes, he has heart hypertrophy, right? The heart hypertrophy is a common sign in some diseases, just like hypertension, because you know the heart is a muscle, like any muscle in the body. When it makes an extra effort, it gets bigger. So the hypertension is an extra effort. So hypertensive patients get hypertrophy, cardiac hypertrophy. The people with cardiomyopathies and heart failure sometimes they get cardiac hypertrophy. So we should know which reason leads to hypertrophy, then we can treat the reason.
okay. You talked about it. Is it curable? Are these common heart diseases in our country curable?
Yes, it's curable and preventable.
Okay, so it's curable and preventable. Let's go back to the stigma that people with heart conditions get from their workplaces, school, in their communities.
Yes, we, as we said before, we should increase awareness of heart diseases and make patient education programs and society support. And society starts from home, from the family, and the environment around the patient. So we should make public awareness for the heart diseases and how to deal with the cardiac patients, how to deal with them if he has a heart attack, if he had facing any sign or problem of serious heart disease, how to deal with
What would be your word of encouragement to somebody out there probably who's been diagnosed with heart condition and they're in denial of that? What would you tell them?
that heart diseases are curable and preventable, as we said. If you deny that you have something wrong in your heart, your heart will get worse. You can start in the early stages of the disease and you will be almost normal if you get the right lifestyle, if you get the right medication.
Before you can give us the take-home tips, we'll accommodate our last caller. You're through to the program. Go ahead with your question or contribution. Hello, you're through to Dr. May. Go ahead with your question or contribution.
I have an issue with the heart. I normally have a very sharp pain just below the heart. I've been to the hospital. I've done an echo and ECG twice. I'm always told that the results are fine, but I still have this pain, very sharp pain, and sometimes I become breathless, either when I've just eaten or when I've just woken up. What could be the problem? What other medical attention should I take?
Okay, I think she said that she has sharp chest pain and she made investigations like ECG and echocardiography. They were normal. Not all chest pain is from the heart. Sometimes chest pain from the not from the pleural lining of the heart, from the pericardium, which line the heart itself. Maybe it's musculoskeletal from the muscles. Okay, so if she has that pain and she seeks medical advice, they told her that it's not the heart, she should seek another medical advice to know what are the reasons of the chest.
Your take-home tips, Doc, as people would like to also appreciate your work. What is it that you want to tell them?
As we said, the heart diseases are curable and preventable. Uh, we should follow a healthy lifestyle to prevent the heart diseases. We should start exercise. Exercise can improve all risk factors of heart diseases. It increases the endorphins. It's like chocolate. It increases endorphins. The endorphin is the hormone of happiness. It makes you feel better. It makes you feel happy, and improves the blood pressure, improves diabetes, improves the weight, improves the cholesterol. As I told you, it's a magic key to prevent heart diseases. If you are smoking, stop smoking. If you have any symptom of what we mentioned before, seek medical advice. Keep yourself and keep your heart healthy. It's a gift from God. Don't waste it with smoking or drinking or sedentary lifestyle.
Dr. Abdul Kader, cardiologist from Forest Park Hospital. I would like to thank you for coming on,
Thank you.
Dr.
It was my pleasure.
You have been watching Doctor on Air, and we were looking at heart diseases. Remember to go for your heart checkups so that you may know the state of your heart and always take good care of yourself. My name is Margaret. So I'll see you next week. Listen, bye.
Okay.